I go out sometimes and talk to the seals, just to...
On the evening of November 22nd, 1987, two television stations in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States had their broadcast signals hijacked with video and audio of an unknown person wearing a Max Headroom mask and costume. Now, I'm just reading this information off of a Wikipedia page, and according to Justin Wang, that's bad content, and yet that's exactly what he does every single video on his channel. You see, Justin Wang, a well-liked YouTuber, I guess, a very popular YouTuber, he claims that kind of information, that kind of content, that it's boring, that it's not good. In fact, I have a video here of Justin saying exactly that. If you don't know Justin Wang, you've probably seen him before. He actually pops up quite a bit around the internet. Here's a video of his called Recycled BuzzFeed Content, which I thought was going to be the explainer for his channel, but it turns out, no, he's actually complaining about other people.
I found out that there's basically an entire form of YouTube content that's based not only on showing this kind of low effort content, but it's being like even more fucking low effort that it's not even curating new shit, it's just reading a BuzzFeed article to you. Like, how fucking brain dead do you have to be that you spend your free time having BuzzFeed articles read to you? Apparently a lot of people are, though, because these channels have millions of subscribers, millions of views on every single fucking video, and many of them have their entire fucking library built on this sort of video.
Well, he said library. Okay, well, cool. So, and as you can see back there, he's got a China bulb on his bed, which I guess they're just required to have. We're going to talk more about this video in a bit. Let me explain. So, I'm going to tell you a little story, okay? Let me just sit down, relax for a second. Let me tell you a little tale. A couple years ago, I think back in 2016 or so, it was 2017, actually. 2017, I was on Reddit, and I would frequent the $1 Million Extreme subreddit. Now, unfortunately, that's long since gone, and of course, we all know why. But I took notice of a particular user one day, somebody that I'd never seen post there before, and it just, I don't know what it was about this person, but it struck me. Something about the way they posted struck me, and it stuck with me for a long time. You see, this person posted asking, it was unusual in this subreddit. This subreddit was full of memes and just shit posting and that kind of stuff. And very occasionally, some original content would get posted there. But never did I see anything that was a question outside of what music did they play on this episode of World Peace. But this guy, this strange guy showed up one day and he asked people about the quote-unquote feud between H3H3 Productions, somebody we've spoken about before in the show, and Sam Hyde. And from the, I wish I could show it to you, but again, the subreddit's completely gone now. I assume the post is gone too. I'm not sure, but I assume. So the post was asking this, but it was very clear that the person asking it had no actual knowledge, at least of Sam Hyde. They didn't really seem to have a good grip on what Sam was about, what $1 Million Extreme was. They kind of seemed to understand H3H3. It seemed like, to me, and I think this is why it stood out to me, it seemed like somebody from the H3H3 camp coming over and trying to collect intel so that they could better defend their favorite YouTuber. Now, that turned out to not quite be the case, although it's probably closer to that than you would think. That poster, as you may have already figured out, it turned out to be one Mr. Justin Wang, a.k.a. Wang, on YouTube. And Wang, or as I like to call him, Chinese V for Vendetta, it turns out he was looking to make a video. And I always thought it was so odd that he'd make a video about something he had just no knowledge of. You know, typically when somebody makes one of these types of videos, it's because, oh, I'm a big fan of $1 Million Extreme. I want to cover it because this is a low-level guy, too. You might not realize this. Wang right now has 541,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're talking about a time where he had 2,000. Okay, he was a nobody back then. My channel was bigger than his back then, so nobody knew who this guy was, and everybody commenting to him had no idea who he was or what it was about. A guy was nice enough to go to that comment he left on there and leave a detailed explanation of what people perceived to be, at the very least, the back and forth between Ethan from H3 and Sam Hyde. And Wang essentially just took everything they said word for word and made it into a video. And he did a little bit of crediting from the Reddit post, but he only gave credit to the post that was made by Sam Hyde in response to this. Sam actually gave his 2 cents on the whole matter in the post, and Wang included that in his video. Now, I kept my eye on this. I wanted to see, okay, how well does this guy cover it? My guess was he was going to cover it in favor of H3. That turned out to not be the case. About 2 years ago now, he released a video called Did H3 Rip Off Sam Hyde and $1 Million Extreme? And after that was posted, it wasn't that video that did it, but that video got him quite a few more views than he had been getting. And it was a little bit of the launch pad that brought him to the success he's at today. And I kept my eye on him after that, after I watched that video, because I thought, okay, hang on a second. So he came in there knowing nothing about this, and now he's making a video being an expert about it. So I want to explain to you my problem with Wang, because my gut instinct is to say that I know that there will be Wang defenders coming in here in the comments and going, oh, it's just sour grapes because he's more successful than you. But even as I say that, I realize, are there Wang defenders? There are definitely people who watch him. But are there people who are fans of Wang? In my mind, Wang is just this thing that's there. He's not offensive, really. He's just there. And I guess people watch it because it keeps showing up in their subscription feed. You know, I think of him like this. I've got this weird little red spot on my forehead. And yeah, I mean, it's not going to kill me, you know, but it wouldn't hurt to go see the doctor and let him tell me, hey, you know, it's completely benevolent. There's nothing going on with it. It's not malign. You're going to be okay. And just in case I'm wrong, he can tell me, oh, actually, it's cancer and you're all going to die. I'm not saying Justin Wang is cancer and you're all going to die. I am saying for the past 2.5 years or so, I've been sort of noticing a trend with Justin Wang, okay? Everything he covers on his channel, he doesn't know anything about and he doesn't care about, but he comes on and tells you about like he's the guy who discovered it. You know, some of his biggest videos, including that Max Headroom video I was mentioning at the top of this, that's his biggest video. And I had seen, I mean, I've known about that forever. That's exactly my wheelhouse. I'm going to know about something like that. You know, I read that Wikipedia article when I was 12. You know what I mean? But I had seen YouTube videos covering this since the dawn of YouTube. And that's his biggest video. And there's a lot of things like that on here where it's just somebody else has already done this. They did it a long time ago. And they probably did it better. But there's something about this guy where people just keep tuning in. And good for him. This isn't about his success. It's more about you and the thought process you have of enjoying this. You see, Wang isn't interesting. He has no content. He's not funny. He has no hot takes on anything. He doesn't deliver it in a visual style that is going to be more compelling for some reason. He's literally in front of his twin bed right now. I mean, the dude is wildly successful on YouTube, as, you know, in the grand scheme of things. And every video is in front of his bed. I stopped doing that 5.5 years ago, I think, maybe longer. If you're seeing a guy's bed, you should never see a man's bed. That's it. Unless you're the lady who's about to go lay down with him and make a deal, a consensual deal inside that bed, you should not be seeing a man's bed. It's too personal, too private. It's like seeing a man's logs. You can't do it. So he's still filming in front of his bed. I don't get what it is. Is it that he's so harmless that it's just easy to watch? Is it that you thought he was your friend? Because the thing I noticed over and over again, and this is true, the thing I noticed over and over again, what made me keep coming back to just quietly monitoring Wang I never talked about him on the show, never covered him. He's always been right there, though, at the tip of my fingertips. What made that happen is every time I'd check out one of the big videos on YouTube, one of the big ones making the rounds, particularly the ones in the sort of circles I run around in, the sort of non-politically correct, I don't know what to really call it, like shit poster adjacent circles, especially those videos, the top comment, and not just the top comment, but the first comment was always by Wang. I'm telling you, it started to seem like, and I was tracking this for a while, it started to seem like Wang was awake 24/7, waiting for videos to drop to get his comment to the top there. And I have very strong reason to believe, and I will be going over that evidence with you tonight on the show, I have very strong reason to believe that part of what got Wang his popularity is that he would not only manage to get that first, second, third comment in there, he would then use alternate accounts to upvote himself and downvote every other comment that came in for hours. I actually tested this theory to see if it would work and to see if it would pull traffic to a channel, particularly one that looks like it's a channel for something like Wang's does when you see it in the comments. And again, if you don't know Wang, ask yourself, have you ever seen this face in the top comments? You probably have. Go back to a video in the past 2 years that was popular in that sort of wheelhouse I'm talking about. You will find a Wang comment. It's crazy. I started to wonder if he had a team of people doing this for him. And it is without fail any type of moderately popular to very popular sort of subgroup like the kinds I'm describing, Wang is a part of. He always ingratiates himself into those groups, and he never has a bad thing to say about them, even in a joking way. It's a very glad handy type of move, from $1 Million Extreme to The Dick Show to Come Town. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's everyone you could think about he wants to be in good with, okay? He has to know that he wants you to know that he likes what you like. He's the type of guy that sits at the back of the room and waits to see what his friends do first to know if it's cool, okay? When Justin Wang's mom asked him, would you follow your friends off of a bridge if they told you it was cool? She had to do it while leaning over the edge of a bridge and yelling it down to him. That's Justin Wang. It's milquetoast. It's nothing. It's not funny. It's not content. And boy, do I have a bunch of it to go over for you tonight. I mean, I have gone back through all of his videos. And again, I've been studying this to such a petty, petty degree. I mean, an insanely petty degree. And somebody brings this up in the chat room here. The craziest part of all of this, I'm actually going to do Justin a favor for you guys tonight. Justin's gonna have a nice thing at the end of the show for you tonight. Somebody brings up he's in a metal band. That's true. For all his scheming to get to the top in this commentary, I don't know, this fucking BuzzFeed listing sort of thing that he does, for all his scheming, all he really wants anybody to do is to check out his band, and nobody cares. So tonight on the show, we are going to check out his band. I want to do you that favor, Justin. I feel bad for you. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit at all about your band for all your success. I mean, you have millions of views on some of your videos. You have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Nobody gives one shit about your band. So I'm a fan of your band. I'm just not a fan of you. And I'm trying to understand why anyone would be. I don't know if I could ever understand that. Now, this episode, the full version of it, is going to be behind the paywall in the Pizza Fund. We built our own Patreon. It's called the Pizza Fund. It works exactly like Patreon, except it's way better because we have years worth of content in there. And by the way, when we get into the main show, we'll be going over Justin's Patreon, one of my favorite things to do with creators. How especially big YouTubers, how terrible their Patreons are, how awful their content for it is, their rewards for it are, how few Patreon subscribers they have. It's going to be beautiful. You guys are going to love it. We're going to go into a deep, deep dive in the full episode of this. If you'd like to see the full thing, it's in the $12 section of the Pizza Fund. Podawful.pizza is the link. Yes, that's a real link. Podawful.pizza. And one more thing before we go into it here, I do want to let you know we do have merch, and we will be going over Justin's merch as well. But a brand new shirt has been released to the Pizza Fund. If you didn't join the $40 t-shirt club earlier today, boy, did you fuck up, because now the shirt is out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Hang In There Jeffrey Epstein t-shirt. Hillary Clinton killing Jeffrey Epstein in front of his actual little black book, and it's hard to see on this thumbnail version of it, but the actual names and phone numbers from his little black book dot the shirt all over there. So very cool design. Go check it out. Podawful.shop is where you can get that if you'd like to pick that up. Podawful.shop. You are too late to join the t-shirt club to get that one, but we will have more shirts coming out soon. That's it. Join the Pizza Fund, grab yourself a shirt, support our show, and get the best content on the internet by the only guy who's actually trying, me, Jesse, the greatest guy. Podawful.pizza.
Podawful.pizza.
You know what? The other thing I forgot, I was trying to think of this while I was talking about it a second ago. The other group, I just got informed this, and it's so funny. I had no idea, and I got informed of this right before the show. Somebody saw we were talking about Wang tonight, and they messaged me this. You know the other one of those circles that Wang is in, of all of them to be in? He's in the Red Bar Radio Facebook group. I mean, this guy has to put himself anywhere that might get him a viewer, that might. He doesn't advertise. I'm not saying he does that. He's there. He's always there. Maybe that's why we can't escape him. Nobody likes him. He's just a black hole that we can't fucking escape. And he's always sitting there with his coffee mug, judging the rest of it. I love that. That coffee mug, that is exactly like a guy smoking weed, smoking cigars. That's exactly like a guy having big boy drinks, okay? I started drinking Dr. Pepper on the show, making fun of exactly this type of thing. Every thumbnail of Wang, he's sitting there with his coffee cup like, I'm just here judging the rest of you. I'm above everybody. Hey, while the world's getting crazy, I'm just enjoying my cup of joe.
Color is Wang.
He's blowing up the screen.
No.
That's a fake sip.
Well,
he literally just did the... That's what you would do in improv to show that you took a sip.
Hey, there we go. I like being so much
That's a
bigger than
mimes
you guys,
move. And look at him. He's stuck in his judging you with coffee position. How long is that cup in there now? He can't help himself. It's all he knows. He thinks that makes him stronger. He really does. That's a sign of his power to you.
yeah. Well, no, you should
By the way, 2 comments right now in their chat room. Just 2 comments.
be bigger.
Sean's just a
Sip.
hater.
There's another sip.
Huh? What?
There's a Red Bar sip for you.
That's all
Oh
I
yeah,
need.
I'm not getting anything through my headphones if I'm supposed to.
There's
And
a
he
vault-
just
the
now
vault
realizes-
will be off if you find
So
it.
all of that time, he's been wearing headphones, and now he realizes he can't hear them. What is this production? Also, let's take a special moment. Actually, I'm going to do something real nice for you guys. Let's take a very special moment to recognize the fact that Dick is balding. He's going bald. Look at that right there. What is this little curly Q happening here? He's using the headphones to cover up the fact that he's going bald.